Hello and welcome to another episode of News2Gamers. I'm your host Simon Hill, and what an exciting week it has been in the gaming universe. The announcement of a brand new addition to one of the biggest franchises in gaming history, plus the release of potentially the Game of the Year, and so much more. So let's have a look what we've got on tonight's show, shall we? We have the review of all reviews in the show tonight with Uncharted 4, a game I've been excited for 3 years. On top of that, we show the latest launch trailer for Doom. Leanne is also here talking to you guys on social media, and that exciting new trailer from Battlefield 1. It's all on the show next. But first, here's a lowdown. So Nintendo will host a day-long live stream of The Legend of Zelda for the Wii U at E3 this year. In a press release announcing the stream, it was referred to as Nintendo's kickoff to E3. Zelda again was referred to as Nintendo's focus on the show this year. There was no mention of the usual digital event, less a live conference. The live stream will begin with an introduction from Nintendo America's boss, Reggie Fils-Aime, at 5 PM UK time on Tuesday the 14th of June. You'll be able to tune in via Nintendo's Twitch channel for news on NX. Nintendo will host its own event later this year. The new console is set to debut in March 2017. Hurry up, Nintendo. Tell us what's happening with NX. Exciting news now, Dishonored 2 will be released worldwide on the 11th of November 2016 on PC, PS4 and Xbox One, Bethesda have announced. The gameplay world premiere will happen at E3 evening time 12th of June if you live in the US, or in the wee hours of the morning the 13th of June if you live in Europe. We haven't heard a great deal about Dishonored since it was announced at E3 last year. We do know you can play as either returning hero Corvo or Emily Kaldwin, the Empress's daughter. Yes, pretty exciting stuff. We'll have all the latest on Dishonored 2 and Bethesda right here on News2Gamers, so keep it locked. Oh, I can't wait for this. Doom has a gory new launch trailer that showcases some incredible gunplay and awesome monster action. It's due out this Friday the 13th. We shall have a full review on next week's show. In the meantime, let's enjoy this awesome new trailer. It's pretty brutal.
You've returned. Only flesh and blood to walk between dimensions. Between our world and theirs.
Developed in 1993 by ID Software, Doom is one of those rare classics whose notability and significance in video game history can be as equally attributed to its gameplay innovations as to the controversy it generated. The game was technically exceptional for the era and offered players one of the first true 3D first-person shooter experiences, along with Wolfenstein, released a year prior to it. The game sees you play as an unnamed Marine who has been incarcerated on a facility on Mars, where, naturally, secret experiments on interdimensional travel are being conducted after assaulting a senior officer when refusing an order to fire upon innocent civilians. To nobody's surprise, one of these experiments go terribly wrong and demonic creatures from hell begin swarming through the teleportation gates, leaving the player tasked with traversing through the levels while fighting off these strange beasts, avoiding obstacles and completing puzzles along the way to unlock hidden areas. One of the most notable elements about the game is its excessive violence, offering you a host of weapons to barbarically slaughter your enemies in multiple ways. But unlike real-world violence, all of this glorious virtual gore certainly didn't come without consequence, and the game predictably spawned a strong reaction from the usual suspects. Doom's intense levels of graphic violence and satanic imagery even led some to suggest it played a part in the Columbine massacre, In fact, one of the individuals involved said committing the atrocity would be like playing Doom. While Doom was not the first of its genre, upon its release the term first-person shooter was not part of common parlance, and subsequent titles of the genre for almost 5 years were more often than not referred to as Doom clones. The game has been modded almost endlessly, and still to this day has a strong community of fans. This has been Richard Gullick for Respawn.
Star Wars The Force Awakens top talent have recorded new dialogue for the film's Lego game adaptation. The film's biggest stars are returning: Harrison Ford, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Carrie Fisher and Oscar Isaac, aka Han Solo, Rey Finn, Leia and Poe, as if you needed to be told. Alongside them are Anthony Daniels, Adam Driver, Domhnall Gleeson, Gwendolyn Christie, Lupita Nyong'o and Max von Sydow. That would be C-3PO, Kylo Ren, General Hux, Captain Phasma, Maz Kanata and Lor Santeca. Done that without doing another take. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens will release on June the 28th on every platform going, literally. Fallout 4's brand new upcoming expansion, Far Harbor, has an awesome new trailer. The DLC will arrive later this month on the 19th of May for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Fallout 4 developer Bethesda has boasted that Far Harbor will host the largest landmass ever added in a Fallout game via DLC. With it will come new quests, settlements, dungeons and radioactive beasties. Here is just a quick look at what you can expect from Fallout 4's largest DLC add-on to date. Check it out.
Please, bring my daughter home.
We've paid our dues in blood and bullets. This is our fight. Our island. Not yours.
The fog can do a number on you. Get you all turned around.
Far Harbor has a right to the truth.
The people of Far Harbor need only peer out their windows to look upon the face of Adam himself, given form in holy fog.
I know peace can still be achieved.
Peace? You call murdering one of ours peace?
Careful. This could get out of hand real fast.
Obviously going to steal more of my life, Fallout 4 just turns me into this recluse, and it's not going to change anytime soon when that new DLC lands. Right, you guys were getting super excited after that Battlefield announcement to decide to share all the love with us on social media. Leanne, it was #1 trend worldwide for 2 days. I mean, that's pretty impressive, don't you think?
Oh yeah, really impressive. The hype over this on social media is unreal. I have to admit myself, I was a little disappointed at Battlefield 4, but the trailer to this is out of this world. Totally brought it back for me. It's that good, I have seen a lot of you debating whether this is the end of Call of Duty. Carlos Miguel Capio tweets, hashtag Battlefield 5, aka hashtag Battlefield 1, is set during World War I. Woohoo! The series is going back to its World War roots. At last tweets, hashtag Battlefield 5 is going to be an alternative World War I. What a blast! Hashtag RIP card. And Fox tweets, okay, so hashtag Battlefield 5 is actually hashtag Battlefield 1 and set during World War I Theatre of War. Makes COD Infinite Warfare look last gen. Oh dear, Activision. Digital Nightmare tweets, when hashtag Battlefield 1 gets more likes in 2 hours than hashtag COD Infinite Warfare gets in 5 days. Hashtag Battlefield 5. And I love this one, it's just sweet and simple. Charlotte says, horses? Oh, hashtag Battlefield 5. But you die-hard COD fans out there won't go down without a fight. Danger Russ tweets, hashtag Battlefield going back to World War I means they have won the war against the shit that hashtag Call of Duty has been producing since hashtag Black Ops 1. Max Black tweets that new hashtag Infinite Warfare looking crazy. Tony tweets, actually excited for the new hashtag COD Infinite Warfare. At Activision, at Infinity Ward. I mean, after all that, you would think that you would all be out of energy, but no, especially after Doom unleashed hell with its insanely gory launch trailer. Marcus Wong tweets, heard those iconic notes from the hashtag Doom trailer. Replayed the first game and I realised it's not there until the end of the week. But Kulo tweets, I can't contain my hype for this game. Hashtag Doom, hashtag fight like hell. Wow, May is set to be pretty damn packed for us gamers, with the likes of Uncharted 4, Doom, Homefront, Dead Island, and I wonder which one you are most excited for. Field1 tweets, May is going to hurt the wallet. Hashtag Battleborn, hashtag Overwatch, hashtag Uncharted 4, hashtag Gearbox Software. I think mine is probably Homefront, and I'll take a wild guess that Simon's will be Uncharted 4. If you want to get in touch with us and join in the fun, all you have to do is head to our Twitter page at News2Gamers, like us on Facebook, and head over to our YouTube channel, where you can catch up on all previous episodes, see new gaming bulletins, and also see our new spin-off show, News2Gamers Extra. Stay with us as after the break, Simon will be reviewing what looks a potential game of the year in Uncharted 4. Plus, he will also be showing the exciting new trailer in the latest in Battlefield franchise. Awesome, I can't wait. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to News2Gamers. Still to come, we have that review for what could potentially be the game of the year in Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, and we'll be taking a look at what you can expect from this week's episode of News2Gamers Extra. But first, EA and DICE have officially announced the latest in the Battlefield franchise. On Friday the 6th, with host Jose Sanchez stood on stage with creative director Lars Gustafsson, and then joined by senior producer Alexander Grondel, forcing the man with the control over the stage to play the trailer no more than 3 times in the press event. So, what do we know? Well, the latest Battlefield game is set in World War I. It has the largest destruction in any Battlefield game to date. Weapons include shotguns, bolt-action rifles, Springfield rifles, submachine guns, pistols, revolvers, snipers, maces, mustard gas, flamethrowers, dynamite swords, sabres, shovels, gas masks, and more. Vehicles include Red Barons, Fokkers, Bristol, F2, horses, blimps, light tanks, heavy tanks, armoured trucks, fully controllable battleships, and again, so much more. I'm so excited, can you tell? The era, you've got several, including the Battle of Marne, the Italian Alps, jungles, trenches, battle land, sea, and air as well. Dogfights are going to be huge, bombing raids, plus 64-player multiplayer battles. This is going to be a game that is going to grab everyone's attention. I can't wait. You can register for the beta as well by going and becoming a Battlefield Insider to get in with the chance of taking part. Oh, and it's not called Battlefield 5 either. Here is the trailer for the latest in the Battlefield franchise. Welcome to Battlefield 1. Back in 2007, we were introduced to a witty, sarcastic, likeable, intelligent, bumbling adventurer who thrived on the dream of uncovering one of history's most beloved treasures, or relics. His first venture took us on a fascinating journey to find El Dorado. Since then, we have battled for the treasure of Sir Francis Drake. We've been suspended from cliffs inside a wrecked train in search of Marco Polo's Chintamani stone. And we have travelled the world in search of the famous lost city in the Rubicali Desert. Added to all the buildings climbed and fallen from, grenades we've been blown up by, and the repetitive jokes that Drake has dished out. So what's next for Uncharted? Well, Naughty Dog have taken the story even further, deeper and more emotional than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here is the News2Gamers spoiler-free Uncharted 4: A Thief's End full review. It seems strange to think that when Uncharted first found its way into our lives in 2007, it represented something of an uncertainty. Naughty Dog wanted to show their ambition from the off. They were eager to become the video game equivalent of a summer blockbuster, and oh boy did they succeed. And its witty hero Nathan Drake led the way with every stumble and every sarcastic remark all the way to the summit. All the daring action, enchantment and humour built a solid foundation for a cinematic masterpiece, exploring dense jungles and hidden tombs, battling with bad guys, finding the treasure and getting the girl. 9 years and 4 games later, and Uncharted has outdone itself yet again. Just like the renowned beginning of Uncharted 2, where Nate finds himself hanging from the end of a train that is dangling off the edge of a cliff, Uncharted 4 also starts with a huge, epic and ambitious introduction into Drake's final outing. I found myself only 5 minutes in and I was hooked like a baby to a bottle. In one aspect, it feels like a beginning of something entirely new, with Nate rediscovering life and the excitement whilst on pursuit of something enchanting with his brother. However, on the other hand, it feels like an emotional end with Drake carelessly throwing everything away to suddenly answer the call for one more big adventure. By now, Drake has retired from his treasure hunting days and instead opted into spending his life happily married with long-term adventuring partner Elena. He works a dead-end job for a salvage company and spends time reminiscing in his attic and eating noodles in front of the TV. Despite feeling a little bit bored, Nate seems fairly content. That's when things are about to change, as we are introduced to his long-lost brother Sam, who shows up at the office at a very inconvenient time. Nate was under the impression that Sam had been dead for 15 years. Instead, the older Drake sibling had secretly been locked up in a Panamanian prison. Now Sam is out begging for Nate's help in finding the lost treasure of legendary pirate Henry Avery. And so the story begins. After I'd gotten over the initial fact that we'd never even heard of a brother, let alone seen one, it is clear that the introduction of the previously unmentioned Sam is a curveball from Naughty Dog. The relationship between the two siblings is the cornerstone of Uncharted 4, and Naughty Dog takes its time to make it count by taking advantage of some incredible narrative cutscenes and deep flashbacks. But A Thief's End is very careful not to get too bogged down in explanatory cutscenes, instead unravelling its tale as you charge around with Uncharted's traditional trio of interactions, that being shooting, climbing and fighting. We are in love with the new combat system that allows you much more freedom with the way you walk into each gunfight. You'll usually see the enemy coming before they descend on you, so you have time to map out your tactics and decide how you want to approach the sticky situation that you are about to find yourself in. It's still the familiar cover, run and gun deep at heart, but this time stealth can play a bigger part than ever before in your approach, should you wish to do so. As seen in one of the first gameplay trailers, there is now stealth grass, aka long grass, that you can hide in, or you can use your brand new grapple hook to swing around out of sight of enemies. You still have the option to jump in all guns blazing, drawing as much attention to yourself as possible. Occasionally, it's even possible to bypass an entire group if you're quiet enough. Uncharted 4 and Naughty Dog have pulled out all the stops to ensure that each sequence, gunfight and cutscene, as well as the set pieces, fit together like an effectively executed jigsaw puzzle, without taking any momentum away from its enthralling story. Speaking of set pieces, A Thief's End has some of the best in the series and among the best coordinated stunts in a game to date. There's an intense heist in the beautiful Italian area of Tuscany. There's a tumbling escape along the snowy cliffs of Scotland. Just when you think Uncharted 4 might settle into a steady rhythm, it throws something new at you with a rapid tempo and incredible force. This is a thrilling adventure through the most immersive and exotic locations with spectacular action sequences that would challenge most Hollywood blockbusters. I have smiled a lot whilst playing through the series, but with Uncharted 4, the smile was bigger than ever the second it began. But this is also a story about family. It's a story about self-belief. It's a story about making those sacrifices for the ones you care about. And as a tear slowly slides down my cheek as its final moments are made clear, it is inevitable. This is a story about storytelling and the importance we lend our idols, legends and myths, how the people that inspire us can become our most treasured of memories, and how a photo from the distant past of three friends sitting on a pile of gold can unleash a flood of memories. Uncharted 4 is the perfect ending to the console's defining series, and one that will live on in the memory.
Wow, that looked amazing.
It
Currently
was.
one of the highest rated games in gaming history. And I know you're a massive fan of the game, so you must be over the moon.
It was brilliant and such an engrossing world. The
definitely.
story was
Fantastic.
brilliant and, you know, it's such a fitting end to a great franchise. You know, I urge you all to go and play it, pick up a copy of Uncharted 4. Brilliant game. Next week on the show, we'll be reviewing Doom, which is brutal, gory and everything beautiful in between.
Savage.
It was, and I know you were playing the beta as well.
Gosh,
You enjoyed
I
it, didn't you?
loved
So we've got that coming up next week. Look forward to that. And Respawn's coming back. We've got a great nostalgia kick for that, haven't we?
I know, I can't wait. In the coming weeks, we'll be building up the hype even more for E3, as News2Gamers will be covering the entire event. We will have interviews with some of the biggest developers, and we'll be previewing the biggest games set to be released in 2016.
Can't wait for that. We're super hyped for E3 and everything in between. Don't forget you can head to our YouTube channel and subscribe to all the latest updates, news, and of course our brand new spin-off show is on there as well. News2Gamers Extra and the latest episode featuring Twitch legend D'Angelus Rocks. Tried to say that with a bit of emphasis then. We'll be back on Saturday from 11 PM UK time. Keep it locked.